Hey everybody, it is the 8th of September, Monday morning at a little after 8 o'clock. I got home, less than an hour ago. Just long enough to see the kids off to school. Thank goodness I got here before they left, but you know, they'd have been fine if I didn't. So, love my hairdo. See this nasty stuff right here? Woo! It goes down both sides, the goop. It goes down both sides of my head. Big old thing right here. There's some in the back. Yeah, my beautiful hairdo. I tried to get it all off my face before I left, but there's a little bit still sticky, a little tacky on my face. And you're wondering, what the heck is she talking about? I had my sleep study last night. Okay. I'm going to put a couple of pictures in at the end just so that you can see what I look like. But I'll just tell you about it real quick, and then I'm going to go take a shower and try to get this stuff out of my head. I had a thing up here, down both sides, down the back. That was to measure brain waves. I had one here, right here in the middle of my forehead. I had on both sides here of my face, tape with electrodes. 3 under here. I had 2, one on each side of my shoulders, like under my collarbone area for EKG. On the outsides of my legs, of my calves, on the outsides of my legs just below my knee, I had 2 on each leg, and those were all electrodes to measure the different things, like measure my eye movements, and you'll see those. And then she says, and I saved the most wonderful part for last. And I'm thinking, oh great, what now? I mean, I'm like everything else. Oh, and I had an oxygen pulse ox on my finger for the night, and I had the last thing I had to do is, it looks like a nasal cannula, like you would get oxygen out of, but it didn't have anything. It measured if I was breathing out of my nose, and that went in my nose. Then this really thin white one went in my nose, and it had a little piece that kind of hung down over my mouth. That's the white one's the only one you can see, but you'll see 2 pieces of tape right here on my face, and those 2 pieces of tape were holding those 2 so that they didn't come out of my nose while I was tossing and turning at night. Those were a little bit hard to get used to because they kept moving up, where not in my nose, but like I felt like it was harder to, I mean, I could tell they were there. It's almost like you had a little bit of a stuffy nose, but once I got used to them, they were fine. The tech was really nice. She said, you know, to get in my pajamas, and I had to be there at 8:45. And they said to arrive a few minutes early, so I got there by 8:30. Got upstairs. She said, I'll come in around, she said, go ahead and get in your pajamas, and I'll come in around 9:15 or 9:30 and get you hooked up, because it takes about a half an hour to put all the stuff on. So, I'm sorry. 9:30, she came in, got all my stuff hooked up, got in bed. She said they normally only like to give you about 15 minutes of electronics, like your TV and stuff. And she said, but I'll give you a half hour, and she put it on sleep. You know, she set it to sleep mode so that it would cut off. And I said, you know, I don't really go to bed that early usually. So I thought, well, I'm just going to close my eyes and do my best. And I did kind of fall off to sleep for a second or two between 10 and 11. And then I turned over to the other side, which is an experience with all these electrodes and wires, and it's definitely an experience. Oh, and I forgot. There's right under your arms, there was a band that went around, like a belt kind of thing. And then one around your stomach, and then there was another one just up above my stomach, like under the chest area. and then that one held a little pack that all these electrodes and the things from my nose fastened into, and then there was a bunch of them that hung off the back too. It was an experience sleeping with all that stuff on. She said that if because I asked her, I said, well, you know, what are you going to monitor tonight? And they monitor your heart and your pulse, your heart rate and your breathing rate, and that the reason for two things in my nose is because the one measured if I was breathing out of my nose, and she said if I wasn't breathing out of my nose, started breathing out of my mouth, that they didn't want to think I had sleep apnea. So that other thing hangs down a little bit to measure the mouth. So that's why there's two for your nose, and the white one just, you know, is held in the same way. And she said if in any hour of the night I stopped breathing 5 to 10 times, you know, over 5 times, then she would have to come in and put the CPAP on. If I did that early in the night and they put the CPAP on and I'd sleep with it the rest of the night, then they could get the pressures, you know, right, and then I wouldn't have to come back. If I didn't do it till late in the night, then I would probably have to come back and sleep with the CPAP on all night. I didn't have to get it. She didn't come in. She came in. She said I had to sleep on my back for a little while, which I am not a back sleeper. I like one of my sides. I'm not a stomach sleeper. I'm not a back sleeper. I like my sides. Once in a while, I'll be on a side and kind of just, I'm sorry. Yeah, I didn't sleep well. Kind of roll over onto my back. And she said that she would come at some point and tell me to lay on my back. So she did. I guess one time when I was kind of turning, she came and asked me to sleep on my back and stay there for a little while. So I tried, and I told her, I said, I'll do it as long as I can, but I'm really not a back sleeper. And so I laid on my back and I slept a little bit, and it wasn't a long time, but she said it was a good test. She said it was a nice clean test, so I shouldn't have to do it again. And it was, she did not have to come in and put the CPAP on me. Said that it was a good test and that she didn't see anything that would require her to put the CPAP on. So I'm hoping when the doctor reads the test, they won't say, oh yeah, she needs a CPAP for this, you know, because she said if your oxygen goes down low, it's possible that you could have to have the CPAP for that, or, you know, to hold your airway open so your oxygen doesn't go down low, or, you know, there's apparently a bunch of reasons why you can have to have something done at night. But as of last night, with her watching, I didn't have to have anything. So as long as the doctor doesn't see something that says, oh yeah, that's sleep apnea and that has to be done, or, you know, I would think if I had it bad enough to have a CPAP machine that she would have seen it, you know, she would have seen it in the test and would have had to put the CPAP on me last night. So right now, no